All right, Sean Callahan, let's break down what Matt Rule discussed here on traditional signing day. Man, it's lost some juice. This day and years past, this was like Christmas morning. Today, a different story, was it not?
We're like those old guys that are like,
I remember
February when it used to mean something.
Yeah.
Well, you're right, because it really was kind of an advancement of the offseason, kind of getting ready for spring ball. But, hey, we added Keona Wilhite and 4 or 5 more walk-ons. But, Kamir Prescott, a walk-on, but really a scholarship-level guy. He was one of their highest-ranked safeties that they had early in the process. He came in for the spring game, and then he committed to Wisconsin a week later. The rumor was he was a silent commit to Wisconsin when he came on that Nebraska trip. But parted ways with the Badgers, and Nebraska figured out a way to get him here, and that's 2024 college football. It's all about roster management. Don't worry about the numbers. That's what Matt Rule's job is. That's what his staff, and he talked about that. He's like, hey, everyone's like, how are we going to get to 85? How are we going to do this? Don't worry about it. They know what they're doing, and they'll get it worked out.
And Wednesday really was almost the state of the program address. He talked a little bit about the recruits, but most of it was like, what about the new offensive co-coordinator? And he really shed some light on the Marcus Satterfield, Glenn Thomas situation.
Yeah, there is no controversy, no question. Marcus Satterfield remains the play caller, and he remains the main offensive coordinator for Nebraska. Glenn Thomas, I think, is coming in to the role that Matt Rule had always wanted. I think he wanted Marcus Satterfield to be his offensive coordinator, but not have to coach quarterbacks. But they had to kind of reshuffle it year 1. Now year 2, they reshuffle things again, and they'll have a true quarterbacks coach with Satterfield running the offense, and obviously 2 more new quarterbacks coming in that were both a part of the Elite 11, and Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen to go along with last year's primary starter, Heinrich Harburg.
Yeah, Satterfield will take care of the tight ends and will be the play caller. And you mentioned the quarterbacks. That was also a point of discussion for Matt Rule. 3 scholarship quarterbacks. Matt Rule said he'd like more, but then again, he said last year at this time they had 6.
Yeah, it's a really tough spot, but that's the portal era that we're in. Quarterbacks, only one can play, and they don't want to sit. And so it's a really tough sell, I think, just to find the right guy that's good enough, but probably not good enough to beat out what you have, that wants to come in that situation. They will have 3 walk-ons on the roster, but again, it will be something to watch after spring ball when that second spring portal window opens. Will they kick the tires on another guy? I think a lot of that will depend on what the spring looks like.
He also talked about, Matt Rule did, about the multi-sport athlete. Says he's done this in the past. It's a recruiting tool to say, yeah, you come to Nebraska, you can play more than just football. It helps in the end, does it not?
Yeah, and a lot of coaches, I think, will say that, as Matt Rule said, but they don't really follow through on it. They make it extremely difficult. You're seeing Nash Hutmacher and Jalen Lloyd and Jeremiah Charles right now. Eventually, Bryce Turner and Malachi Coleman could be sprinters too. But they've done a really good job. And we've seen some over the years, like Khalil and Carlos Davis through. Cameron Jurgens was a great thrower at Nebraska. I'm showing my age here, but Kyrie Cooper was a baseball player.
Sure.
But it didn't actually work out too well, or he was drafted by the Angels, and his baseball career really never got going here for Nebraska. But it is difficult to do. But Matt Rule, I think, is behind letting those guys try to pursue what they want to do.
Yeah, a lot of kids like to have those options of playing multiple sports in college. And I thought it was also interesting in saying how far along this current group of Huskers are as compared to last year. And he even said he's further along than he was last year just because it's year 2 in the program.
Yeah, you're just a lot more comfortable. I mean, you think about this time a year ago, Matt Rule barely had unpacked his suitcase because he had been on the road, traveling, moving around so much. Now you've got a full year plus under your belt. You understand the dynamics of the Big Ten, your locker room, the state of Nebraska, the program. So I do think you will see a big jump in this program. And I just way looking ahead, I think they've got a schedule that will allow some growth. It's the first time since 2019 Nebraska will not open with a Power 5 game or a road game to start a year. They'll be at home for the first time since 2019. I mean, you think about that. It's tough when you open on the road with a Big Ten game for like all those 4 years in a row. So I think they've got an opportunity to build a team. I'm not saying it's happening for sure, but they have a real great opportunity to build this team the right way, and they have the schedule to do it.
And the guys who are returning, who had been around last year, they know what mat drills are. They know what is ahead these next few weeks.
Yeah, and the leadership can be more established. I think a year ago at this time, it's kind of a feeling out process, understanding and learning about the coaching staff, the mat drills, as you mentioned. But now you know whose team this is. I mean, there's a lot of veterans like Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmacher and Isaac Gifford. I mean, these veteran players have been around the block, and you need those guys to lead these younger players. Remember, there's 23 newcomers that are already on campus, 17 from the high school ranks, 6 from the transfer portal.
Pretty incredible. It all leads up to the start of spring practice, which is the week of March 24th. And, of course, the spring game, the red-white scrimmage, is April the 27th.